sorry, I got hungry. So, yeah, you know the drill. We're gonna do Twilight Fangs again. The audio was kind of loud last time, so yeah, let's just play the game. Hopefully it won't take forever to load like last time. Oh, good. Straight on to it. I need tickets to continue on. Weird. Sorry, I just looked at his face and it looks kind of stupid. What on earth is he? I back further away from Vice, wonder and fear racing through my body. Okay, stay calm, Sapphire. Think logically. What's your next move? To eat some more goldfish? What should I do next? Oh, wow. Sorry. I'll try and stop eating. Wow, things are getting serious. Get Silver Knife. He didn't end up hurting me, so I won't call the police. But I should get my silver-dipped knife just in case. I hurry downstairs, grab the blade from the front hall table, and return to my room. Oh good, he's still there. It was really a bad idea to start recording when I was eating. Oh well. I feel a little more at ease with the knife in its sheath and tucked in my coat pocket. Silver is known to be quite harmful to werewolves, so at least I could hurt his werewolf side. Just then, Vice opens his eyes and sees me staring at him. Was his eyes always purple? They look cool. Vice regards me with cold suspicion. I mean, he is in a random person's house, so... What are you doing staring at me? Why do you look so scared? His words come out like steel. Sorry, I was just... Well, it's your ears. Don't tell him that. I blurt it out before I can think better. Before I can realize what's happening, he growls and lunges out of the bed toward me. Never mention the ears. Okay. He might be weakened, but there's clearly still some strength. I put my hands up. Wait, Vice, stop! And thank goodness he does stop an inch from my face. I'm not going to call the police or anyone, I promise. I'm just curious and confused. His eyes study mine for several long, intense beats. Beats? What What does that mean? Then he backs away and lays down again. How tall is this dude? Like, look at his shirt. Like, does he have just like a really big shirt so it's like over his pants too? Or is he just like really freakishly tall? I take a steadying breath and pull a chair up to the bed, sitting near his head, but not too close. I promise you will not let anyone know I'm here. Oh, promise you will not let anyone know I'm here. Okay. I nod vigorously. I swear not a soul. So, what are you? A vampire or a werewolf? Vice looks down at his hands, silent. It feels like forever before he finally speaks, seeming reluctant. I'm both. A werewolf and a vampire. A half-blood. What the heck? Is that even possible? That sounds pretty cool. Like, if I had a choice between being a vampire, being a werewolf, and being both, I'd go with both. Sure, you'll have the weaknesses of both worlds, but the powers seem a lot more worth it now. Especially when they have so much in common. Are you serious? I've never heard of any other half-bloods. Well, you've never been around werewolves, have you? I didn't even know there was such a thing, though I've heard rumors. Not to sound rude. Vice's jaw tenses and his gaze is like ice. That's because most of us are killed at birth. Now, enough questions. You're really lucky then. He says this all in a flat, distant tone. Vice, that's horrible. I'm sorry, I mean, clearly it didn't happen to you since you're alive, but... No, he's actually a ghost. Sorry. I shut myself up before I can ramble any further. I mean, he looks like a ghost with that hair and those eyes, right? Stop sounding like an idiot, Sapphire. He looks at me, expression unreadable. I was lucky. And like I said, no more questions, and no doctors. I already promised I wouldn't let anyone know you're here, not even doctors. Now, just one more question, and then I'll stop. How did you get your injuries? As I ask, I walk to my top dresser drawer, taking out a first aid kit and bring it to the bed. Excuse me. He crosses his arms over his chest as I start to gently tend to the wounds on his ankle and calf. He doesn't even flinch when I use peroxide to clean them out. You don't need to know that. I sigh, accepting that I won't get it out of him. Not now. So I finish tending to his wounds in silence. You can stay here until these heal. Do you, eat regular food, or... I cringe. Werewolves like raw meat more than humans do. Are you sure about that? I mean, we butchered a sheep once, and I got hungry the moment they started skinning it. Like, I was ready to eat the meat right then and there. The moment I saw flesh, my instincts kicked in. I was like, I am eating that. I don't care if it's cooked. And vampires like blood, though some eat regular food, so I have no idea about Vice. I eat human food and drink blood. If you have any rare cooked steaks, it will help me recover. Got it. I'll get you some, and I can get you animal blood. Is that okay? He kinda looks sad. Yes, I don't usually drink human blood. I swallow hard as I stand. Usually? And I'm letting him stay under my roof? I must be nuts. Okay, give me 20 minutes, and I'll come back with sustenance. After giving Vice rare steak, veggies, water, and animal blood, he looks much better. Where'd she get the animal blood from? Can humans just buy that? But earlier she was talking about, like, in the last one, she needed Ray's help. Never mind, I'm overthinking things. He proceeds to rest, and rest, and rest. You know, normal people call it sleeping. It's what people usually do to recover. He's been at my house in secret for 3 days now, though we hardly see each other. Both of us are introverted and like our space and time alone. No, I like him. It's the afternoon of day 3 with Vice, and I'm studying in the university campus cafe. It's another shadow person. I take the last sip of my latte and look up to see my favorite professor, Kate. She is at the counter buying a muffin and coffee. I wonder if she knows anything about half-bloods. Don't start asking questions about stuff like that. People will get suspicious. How stupid are you? What should I do? Just research half-bloods. It's the safest option. I feel weird going and asking her randomly about half-bloods. Best to just research on my phone. Wow, that's an interesting app. Search. Never seen that before. Looks professional. Is that like a combination of Google and YouTube? I pull out my phone and start to search online. Could you imagine if there was an app that was similar to Google? It's just called Search. It's like, Tommy, what are you doing? I'm on Search, researching about dinosaurs. Get off of it. I don't know why I thought of dinosaurs. Oh, never mind. There are some references to half-bloods in human, vampire, and werewolf literature. And a few people claim to know of a half-blood in real life. I skim over some articles and literary excerpts. One thing's for sure, fictional or not, half-bloods all seem to be outcasts from society. Now Vice's loner tendencies make sense. I research a minute more and then get back to reading The Merchant of Venice for class. It's just after 7 p.m. when I walk into my house after studying. This actually looks really nice. Except the fact that it feels like a motel. As soon as I enter the living room, I notice something odd. The TV's on. Well, yeah, you have a guest, so... As the front door shuts behind me, my gaze moves to the sofa. Vice is there. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to be out of the room. I was feeling a little better and wanted a change of scenery. He uses the usual cold tone, and I thought I was a major loner. What would it take to crack the ice around this guy? I glance at the screen and see he's watching one of my favorite murder mystery shows. But I don't want to disturb him and hurry toward the stairs. I'll just be up in the office studying. Are you good on food? Yes, thank you. I had the leftover burgers. But Sapphire? I stop and turn around. There's an expression in his eyes that I can't read. You don't have to leave on my account. Feel free to watch the show if you want. His tone is still flat, and he shrugs with indifference. I'm assuming he's also reading the lines just like me. Is he lonely and trying to hide it? It's impossible to tell. I blush and look between him and the screen. Why are you blushing? Are you like embarrassed or... Why would you be blushing? How should I answer? Oh, it's one of these. I'm staying. You know what? Sure, I'll stay and watch. I'm just going to put my stuff away. You want some popcorn and brownies? His expression is as hard as always. That sounds good. Thank you. As I get the snacks a minute later, I run my fingers through my hair and put on lip gloss. What do you think this is? A date? And with a half werewolf, half vampire loner? Ha. Well, some people like to tidy up when they have to actually interact with someone. You gotta make it a good impression, even if he's just gonna be a friend, right? Even though it's a dating game, so I know that he's not gonna be just a friend, but I'm just saying. I shake my head at myself and bring the brownies and popcorn to the sofa. Dig in, I put extra butter on the popcorn. I sit on the sofa as far from Vice as possible, placing the food on the coffee table. Vice nods stiffly and takes a handful of popcorn. And after that scintillating conversation, we proceed to watch the show in silence. As it ends and the murderer is discovered, I'm hyper aware of the man next to me. At least you're not sitting alone watching by yourself like usual. It's okay if we don't talk or anything. As the episode ends and another starts, I slyly glance over. I study his profile, stomach fluttering at the strong lines of his handsome face. He closed his eyes. Wow, I wish I had eyelashes like that. So long and thick. And that mouth, his full bottom lips look so... The clearing of a throat startles me from my runaway thoughts, and then his eyes pierce mine. Eek! I quickly focus on the screen again, cheeks in flames. She was literally just staring at him and he noticed. Shoot, I hope he doesn't think I was staring at him to be rude because he's a half-blood. So you like this show? I give him a brief smile and grab another brownie. My hands are feeling awkward and empty, so holding the treat helps. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Me too. An awkward silence falls, the only sound coming from the TV. Come on, Sapphire, don't let the conversation drop. He initiated it, so you should keep it going. I nod at the screen where one of the lead detectives checks out the crime scene. I love how badass Becca is and how she's a better fighter than the guy. And she reads a lot like me. I take a long breath, not used to talking so much about a virtual stranger. Oh, to a virtual stranger. Even if he has been living under my roof for 3 days. His eyes dart to mine, meeting them quickly before looking back at the TV. You like to read? I do. I'm an English major at the university. I study British and American literature. Do you like to read? It's okay, but I prefer to draw. Oh, cool! Okay, we can get along perfectly. My eyebrows raise as I look at him. Hey, don't judge him. Drawing's awesome. That means he's creative, he's got talent. Really? I didn't peg you as the artist type. Not that I pegged you as anything, really. And she's assuming... What are we gonna do with you? I blushed looking down before meeting his gaze again. He's still impossible to read. Ugh. I wouldn't peg myself as an artist type either. I study his face to see any hint of amusement or anything, but he's got it on lockdown. At least we learned a bit about each other. That's something. Then we watched the rest of the show and the next one quietly. By the time I head upstairs to do some reading for school, I smiled to myself. It seems that just maybe icy walls have a hope of melting. You know what will break the tension? Some snacks. Yes, I am eating some more. It's the next day, Tuesday, after classes. I'm almost to the front door of my house when I hear footsteps behind me. It's Ray. Yep, it's Ray. I turn to face Ray's athletic figure and big smile. Hey, what are you doing here? Of course, when I see my friend at my house, I just ask, hey, what are you doing here? Oh yeah, she's an introvert. Makes sense. He stops just in front of me and holds up a pastry bag. Carly's Cafe had a sale on these raspberry pastries, and I know how much you love them. Oh, awesome! I'll take that and leave you alone. My grin matches his now. Carly's is a cafe near campus that we sometimes visit. And you came all the way to my house? Thanks, Ray. Ray takes a few steps closer to me, well into my personal space. Wait, I read that wrong, didn't I? I definitely read that wrong. My stomach flips as his eyes glint with a light I've never seen before. And he gives me a quick once-over before locking his gaze on me again. You're very welcome. You know I can think of a few other ways you can thank me. Dude, leave me alone. With that suggestive tone and the full-on boyish grin, there is only one conclusion. Ray is flirting with me. What on earth? He's never done this before. What should I do? This is just too intense. Flattering and maybe a joke, but too intense. I take several steps back and turn toward the front door. Yeah, I can thank you by letting you have one. Want to come inside to eat? Don't invite him in. Did you completely forget about your wolf, a vampire dude friend? I had other things in mind, but I'll settle for a shared pastry for now. He actually winks, and follows me into the living room. I just heard the music. Oh, that's a guitar. Oh. I thought that was singing. Flames crawl up my cheeks at his words as I close the front door. Oh, I muted it, sorry. What is with Ray and the flirting today? And then I suddenly realized something. Bryce could be downstairs right now. You just now remembered you have a freaking half werewolf half vampire in your household. You're not even supposed to have a werewolf, let alone a half-blood. Oh, please be upstairs resting. At first, my inner pleas are answered. No sign of Vice. Okay, he doesn't have ears. I'm guessing this is a good sign. But then he walks out from the kitchen and into the living room. Oh crap. Oh, he's gonna be like, what are you doing here, random dude? Who the hell are you? Yep, called it. Vice stops and stares in shock at Ray, whose fangs are out. I could ask you the same thing. You know what? Let's just introduce them so we can get this all behind us. I hurriedly moved to stand between Ray and Vice. No need to get all agitated, either of you. I let out a weak laugh. Vice is my friend, Ray. Vice, this is my friend, Ray. And Ray, this is Vice. He's the guy we came across on the sidewalk 4 days ago, starving. Remember? Ray's eyes widen in surprise and recognition. Then he scowls. I love his face. It actually looks surprised. Oh, I remember. Sapphire, are you nuts? Why is he here? He doesn't wait for me to answer, but steps right up to Vice, inches away. If you've touched one hair on her head. He stops, face turning red, and then shouts, "Get out now! You can recover at the hospital. Not mooch off my friend here." Ray's fangs are very much out now, glinting. No, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, this is so not going to end well. Oh, that's the end, isn't it? What's with the cliffhangers? Okay, so I think I've noticed is that there are similarities to the girl version, the wolf girls. But then, but yeah, well, for the girls, we actually got to see them, all three of them, in episode 1. But we haven't even seen the third guy yet, and it's like episode 2 already. Do I like it more? Yeah, I actually do. So, yeah, I'll actually continue the series. I'm actually intrigued. So, yeah, I'll see you all later.